So this type of word is one of the ways to describe something. Now, this describing word, adjectives, describe nouns and pronouns. So things like happy, beautiful, large, the happy baby, the beautiful flower, the large book, or they were large. Those are the kind of things we'll be describing with adjectives. Here's a bunch of examples of adjectives. And notice we can add an ER at the end or sometimes an IER, depending on what kind of word it is, to show that it's even more than something else, or add an EST if it's the most of something. That's part of the adjective itself. It's like a superlative, a super above adjective. Now, another kind of describing word is an adverb. So adverbs describe verbs and sometimes actually adjectives or another adverb itself. They often end in ly, but not always. So quickly, mostly, and then always is another one because it's describing like whether someone's there or not or doing something. So it's describing a verb. So always is an adverb. It describes a verb. Inside, that's about location of a person or a place or a thing. It's inside. And so it's describing the where they are, the to be verb. And so it's an adverb. Here's a bunch of examples of different adverbs. Things that describe how often, or when, or where, or how much. These are all adverbs. Notice a lot of them end in ly, especially the hows and the how muches, and how often, but not all of them. So those are all examples of adverbs that describe a verb or an adjective or another adverb. Prepositions. So prepositions link nouns, pronouns, and phrases together. They show the relationship or the position. So near or below or first, these are all prepositions. They show where these nouns are located compared to each other. So they're kind of like comparison words. Here's a bunch of examples of prepositions. Abroad, above, beyond, in lieu of, minus, during, excluding. Some words can be an adverb or a preposition depending on the context. So a preposition requires an object relationship, an adverb does not. It could just be describing one verb and no relationship. Conjunctions. So conjunction, junction, what's my function? Conjunctions link words, phrases, and clauses. They join parts of the sentence. They're just like ways to link and smooth out our grammar. So either, or, so, and. These are conjunctions. They're linking words in our sentences. Here's some more examples. For, neither, although, unless, in order, only. Conjunctions. And then articles. Articles are used before a noun to show whether we are talking generally or specifically. So they're modifiers of a noun. So the, a, or an. So do we have the book, which is like, that's the one book, or a book, any book, could be. And then an is basically the same thing as a, except for we put it in front of nouns that start with a vowel so that it's easier to say. You don't say a elephant because that just doesn't flow. So you say an elephant. Or are we talking about the elephant, that specific one? So that's what the articles do. They modify the noun. And those are all the word types. So now we're going to take a look at sentence parts. So check them out. All of those word parts that we were just talking about, there they are in sentence form. And you don't have to have every word part in a sentence. It could be simpler than that. So here we have an article, the, and we're talking about the man, but first we're putting in some adjectives there, and they usually come before the noun in English. In Spanish, they usually come after the noun. So the old, tired man, so those are both describing the noun, that's why they're adjectives, was sitting. And was is part of the verb because it's showing that he was doing